I am back. Happy 2022. We are continuing at almost 6 p.m. East Coast time. The Tarot Zone Marathon. Actually, I had reverb on my microphone. So I took a little bit of a break. Yesterday, I did a bunch of readings. I was pretty banged up. So, for those of you that don't read, when you do a lot of readings, it does take a good chunk out of you. So you do have to take a break. But I got a lot of stuff done. I had to clean my decks heavily. We are now going to take a look. And if you see, I am getting ready to burn some incense. Nag Champa, my favorite incense. I like to clean my decks with incense, even though I'm in the basement and it gets really smoky down here. Like to clean my decks with my selenite too, and also cast my circle, clean my aura with this. Really important, especially when you're going to do crazy readings like this. So we're going to take a look at what the next year, 2020, is going to be like for the Vice President of the United States. Let's see what her year is going to be all about. I hope all of you had a great night. I made a big fat dinner, or it was brunch. Sorry, like 4:00 brunch. Took a while to get up today, not because we were hungover or anything. We stayed up till 4:00 in the morning putting together the haunted house Lego. Super cool. It's one of the big sets. And it's tradition that my husband and I have every year. We do a big Lego set together. So actually, it's mostly for him. I try and let him do more of it than I do. So I did have some Prosecco as opposed to champagne. And somehow we all stayed up until like 4:00 in the morning. Saw a couple of Twilight Zones I never saw before. So let's see. Kamala, what is going on with her? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I remember I was doing this wonky last night. Let me do it a little bit better for you. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's kind of interesting. Neat reading. Right in the middle. All right. So, self, public image, seen as a little bit shady. So, I know the laughing does not come off really well. And the laughing appears to be arrogance and elitism. So I think there may be some effort on her part to change that perspective, because she's grossly aware that it comes off very poorly. The money sector, that looks like, and in this sense, this card, I'm not going to look at it as money as much as the getting it done house. Like what accomplishments is she going to do? It doesn't look like her accomplishments are going to be spectacular. I think we're going to see a continuation of what we saw last year. Not really being able to find a footing and get in there and say, hey, well, I did this. This is something that we accomplished. This is something that we moved forward. It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're still going to be hitting the skids in some senses, not being able to push projects through, not being able to push projects through. It just doesn't look like that's going to be really good. Communication is I'm sorry, is also not great. Looks like the communication is not going to come through. Three of Cups is a celebration card that is accomplishment, tribe, camaraderie, family, fraternity, brotherhood, sisterhood, that sort of thinking. Card does represent three phases of womanhood. The in a lot of cards, in a lot of decks, it's the maiden, the mother, and the crone, the old lady. So it just doesn't look like she's on the same page as anyone. The message is muddled. The message is not getting through. They know that there's a problem, but they're undecided on how to fix it. They're undecided on the PR, how to press that forward. Going into our next four, we have home, pleasure, health. So, home, it looks like there's an inability to go back and review. Now, home in this sense, I think, is a very personal thing for her. It's not her home life. I think this is her as the center of the foundations of the home. So it looks like she's not really looking back on the accomplishments with the correct lens. She's almost like, well, let's not worry about that. Let's just move forward. Let's press on. Let's press on. That's kind of the sense that I'm getting from this, is that she just wants to move forward, and she just wants to, not have anything in the history be of consequence. When we look at political and historical figures, there's always a lens that we have to look. What the times were. Winston Churchill, smoked cigars. In today, with the lens of today, 2022, some would say, well, it's really irresponsible of a world leader to be smoking cigars so much and drinking and blah blah blah, because it's unhealthy and the longevity is just not going to be there. In this sense, she's not looking with the proper lens. She's not looking like she should actually be taking the lens off of reviewing what she's done and her accomplishments and how they're affecting the PR now. So that's really what needs to be done. She needs to pull that lens off and take a look. I wish I had the Hanged Man here, because she needs to see it from someone else's perspective. So the home card, her pleasure card, it looks like she's pretty crabby right now. Looks like that's a little bit of sage there. Sorry. Looks like she is, again, not looking back on the past actions and taking inventory with an unadulterated and an unfiltered look. She's just really looking back from her own perspective. It's one of the things that I've gotten about her in other readings, is that she has a lot of trouble seeing things from other people's perspective. She just puts it in gear and goes. And the ambition and the work ethic is to just keep pressing on. She's like a bulldozer. Grabbing a drink of water, people. Thank you. So she's like a bulldozer. She keeps pressing on. So that brings us over to the health card, which is our Chariot in reverse, which is related to this, because that pressing on without any substance behind it, or out without that playbook behind it, where you can come up with different ways that you can, Hail Mary and get the squad to go this way. Oh, I said the squad. Get the squad to go this way. Get your in-house team to go this way. She doesn't really have that. She just presses forward with it's almost bravado and chutzpah. I said chutzpah, but the thing that she needs to do is have more of a playbook, more of a plan written out. And it feels like she needs like a much better PR team that can work with the projects team and create things that will read much better on the nightly news, read much better in the news stream. So that's really what needs to go. I don't know what just dinged, but something just dinged. So hey, every time. Oh, I think it was my phone. I think my phone's doing things. So all right, so there we are with her. Moving on to relationships, lessons, spirituality. So the relationships, there's things that are hidden. Now, I I think she keeps her family fairly quiet. She did have that one family member that I think was on her team, or there was something like everyone paid attention to it, and then the family member was gone. So I think she's really keeping the family stuff under wraps. I think she really wants to have some privacy, and good for her, because like that, I think that that's key. You really I know, working from home for the last 2 years, it's very hard to unblur those lines once they're blurred. You really have to make an effort to do that. So I think this is her keeping the family quiet. Now, whether there's a secret there or not, I don't know. There may be something that she's trying to keep from everybody. I think the other lead female in the political spectrum maybe has a little bit more to hide. I'm just saying. I'm not going to do a reading on her, though. I'll do that some other time. I don't think I have the strength. So the relationship, there's going to be some quietness. Now, the lessons here, we've got our apprentice card in reverse. So this is not taking instruction. This is not listening to good counsel. This is, blowing off the people that are saying, hey, listen, this looks really bad. You should do this. Or this project is not working. We should do this. The lesson is not learned. So even though this is the lessons, this is what she should be doing. She should be learning how to put others into the driver's seat, and how she should take better counsel. Anyone, the smartest person in the world, Elon Musk, takes other people into consideration. That really is part of you. You can be really, really brilliant, and you can be really effective at whatever you do, but it's important to take other considerations in. For me, like with reading tarot, with any other endeavor, anything that I'm learning, I read as many things as I can. I watch as many YouTube clips and masterclass. I just look at as many as I can, movies, documentaries. I think it's really important, like being a tarot reader. I've looked at, Madame Blavatsky. I know Madame Blavatsky. There's a lot of information about her. Uri Geller, any of those. So, it's really important to take a look at everything, even like Harry Houdini, because, Harry Houdini, while not a psychic, did delve into the esoteric arts, and it is important to understand, people that were involved in that kind of stuff. He was involved in seances, and he wanted to, see if it was real or not. So, that kind of stuff is really important. So, having the ability to curb your ego, put your ego aside, and take counsel from someone else is super, super important. And especially in a position like that, where you're making decisions that affect millions and millions of people, of registered voters. Made my husband laugh at that one. Ghostbuster reference, in case you didn't get it. So then we have spirituality. There's some conflict here. Spirituality, that really, and I know you hate that noise that I do, honey. I'm sorry. The spirituality is really in conflict. And I think this is something that we see common with politicians and with religious leaders, people in the past. So those of you that follow me know that I was a Russian history minor. Any Russian people on there? Здравствуйте. Uh, the, the czar was the conduit to God, and that you really have to take all of your religious training into leadership. That's really what you have to do. But when you are a political leader, like in the United States, it's really hard to do because we have lots of different cultures here in the United States. Most countries now do have a variety of religious cultures and backgrounds, and so if you have an elected official, it's you really have to balance, yeah. I mean, even when I went to high school, like there was such a low Jewish population, and my father's Jewish, that we didn't have Jewish holidays off. So like I got called into the counselor's office and they were like, you can have, the Jewish holidays off, don't worry, like you don't have to. I was like, oh, okay, like didn't make a difference to us, like we're not that super religious, but clearly because my mother's Christian. But so being a political leader in the United States, having that spirituality really is just having a set of morals of right and wrong. Hopefully they jive with most of the cultures, hopefully, but it looks like there's some conflict here for her. Moving on into our last section, we have career, future visions, subconscious or shadow self. Okay, so career, sorry. Queen of Wands in reverse, not being able to produce. We're back here, not being able to produce, not being able to bring those ideas to the table and bring them to life, not having any control over them. Ineffectual is a really good word here. Sorry. Future visions, trying to figure out what can be done in the future, trying to figure out where there is a position of power, where there is more control, trying to find the pathway. Now, again, tarot, there's free will. You can do lots of stuff with it. You can make changes. A lot of the time when my private clients come to me, it is to help them make decisions, not tell them what's going to happen. I don't tell the future. The future is always changing, butterfly effect. So she's trying to figure out where she can go from here. And it looks like she could start to move forward into the future better poised than this. Currently, we're in a position of a lack of ability, a lack of results. It's unfortunate. This is a tough read. This is a tough read for her. So, but there is underneath it all, she's really strong, and she will, again, the strength card is all about time and patience and effort and molding that, molding the beast, training the beast, using all of your skills. And there's the infinity sign. So this is like a perpetual, just keeping at it. Now, in the double major deck that I have, if any of you have seen me use it, the strength card, there's two major cards in the deck and two court cards for everything. And they're two different depictions. The one is the original Rider-Waite. And in the second strength card in that deck, the lion has turned on the young woman and is attacking. And the lesson there is that with strength, you have to persevere. And she does have that perseverance. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry, excuse me. So she does have that stick-to-itiveness. I hate that word, but it really does apply here. She does have the ability to hang on there and just keep bulldozing. Slow and steady wins the race. But the problem is she doesn't change her course. She doesn't find different avenues to try and get through. It's like if we were playing Risk, it's like just battering that the border of another country instead of cutting through I don't want to say the Ukraine because I know there's stuff going on there, but like cutting through Poland. uh, no one's done that before. So it really, there's a craftiness that's lacking in her, and a lot of people take me to task on that, but there's a craftiness that's lacking, and she really just wants to bulldoze through it and just keep pushing with as much strength as possible and as many people behind her as possible. So it'll be an interesting year. I don't see that anything spectacular is going to happen. Nothing is going to light up. There's not going to be any fireworks. I don't see any promotion to anything in particular, but let's take a look. Let's pull a few more cards. Do we see any promotion in 2022? We'll just take one card. We'll just do one. Promotion. VP. Any promotion here? No, not moving forward. Stagnant, not traveling forward. So there we go. So that's what I see, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to drop this live and I'm going to start another one just so that we do have an appropriate title on the next one. So thank you for watching. I'm going to be right back in a few minutes. This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't even think I said that. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you're having a great New Year's Day. I hope you're full of cheese and cheer. And I will be right back in 2 minutes.